Chattanooga. This is Thomas DeMoss and
Wally Reese, and I feel good. James Brown.
It's a wet morning here in Chattanooga. We appreciate you guys joining us. Hopefully, I guess we're getting some rain from the hurricane out in Texas. So we are.
And you know the bad thing about it is we can't paint houses.
I know that is
We've got one we need to paint. We can't paint it because of the rain.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But that's a small problem that we've got. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things today. We appreciate you guys joining us. This is the Reality Real Estate Show. And for those of you that are not aware, we are actively in the Chattanooga real estate market in a lot of different facets. Myself, I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams. We actively have rental properties, both Wally and I do. And then I guess our primary role is we rehab houses, or as Wally like to say, we redevelop neighborhoods.
Redevelop neighborhoods. I learned that a long time ago, because flipping houses is one of those that people are, as you said, kind of getting away from that flipping aspect.
Yeah, don't like it. Don't like that.
We redevelop. It sounds a lot better.
What's crazy is I'll sit there and go, yeah, we rehab houses and we resell them, and everybody goes, so are you flipping them? And I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing. But no, we appreciate you guys joining us. We want to throw out a couple of ways that you guys can connect with us. We have, first of all, I Buy Chattanooga Houses Facebook page. And that is for anybody who wants to follow the projects that we've got going on, wants to connect with us, maybe ask us a couple of questions. It's also there if you want to reach out to us, if you've got a property that you need to sell, for whatever reason, give us a call. We want to connect with you. We're trying to kind of expand our reach, I guess, bring more people into our ecosystem of what we're doing. We really like and enjoy, obviously, what we're doing. So we appreciate you guys following us. And that's a great way to keep up with us. It's I Buy Chattanooga Houses on Facebook. Like us, follow us. We try to post some interesting things that, will capture your attention and wow you with all the projects that we have going on.
Absolutely. One thing to add, I'm sure everybody drives by that house at least once a day, maybe in your neighborhood, that the grass is all grown up. I mean, it might be 6 feet tall. I saw one the other day that was extremely high. Maybe you've got a house that has been foreclosed on. Maybe a house that's burnt. We're definitely looking for those. Or that house in the neighborhood that is just the eyesore. Even if somebody's living in that house, it really doesn't matter to us. Yeah. We can deal with that one way or the other, because we don't know what the situation is. Because our goal is to try to find a solution for whatever the situation is that we find when we go into our properties. So if you do have that property, fill out the form. On our website, or go to ibuychattanoogahouses.com or to our Facebook page and either give us a call, fill out that form, let us know if it's your property or if it's just one that you have found, because I've talked to several folks, Thomas, over the past week or so that are actually out looking for us. I've gotten 2 or 3 folks that have sent some properties in, not sure where they're going to go, but hey, you never know. It might take a week. It might take a month. You don't know. But, we'll need projects to do in a couple of months anyway.
Yes, we do.
So make sure you go there if you see that house in your neighborhood that you need to get rid of.
Absolutely. And Wally's not talking about my yard when he's talking about grass that's 6 feet high. I do cut my grass where I'm a little slow to join the neighborhood sometimes, even with the I think I'm the chairman of the board, so I've got to keep my neighborhood looking good.
You do, because you can't send a letter out to somebody else if yours looks like what.
But you know what? I can send a nasty text.
And they'll come back in and say, hey, Thomas, they'll take a picture of your yard. If it's me, I take a picture of your yard, say, I'll tell you what, you do yours, I'll do mine.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We love our neighborhood, but we do have those instances. But no, we appreciate that. Wally did mention our websites, ibuychattanoogahouses.com. Just a couple of different ways where you guys can join us and follow kind of what we're doing. Man, it's been a fun year. We've made a lot of progress this year. Had a lot of great projects. We met a lot of great people. One of the things that I think we're super proud of is the testimonials that our clients give us once we actually buy a house from them.
Right.
We closed one, I believe it was last week, from a fellow who bought a house up here in Hickson. It was a great closing. We were able to help them out. He was able to kind of step into a new stage of his life. Really just didn't want to have the hassle of a house, but gave us a super awesome testimonial. And
we find quite a bit of that. You never know. I mean, we run into all different kinds of situations. I think one of the more familiar ones that we see is maybe the kids, they have a house that they grew up in. Mom and dad passed away. What are they going to do with the house? We don't have a clue what to do with it. They might have, and this is a key. This is a very interesting one. They've got relatives living in the house that they can't get out or don't know what to do with. Does that sound familiar?
I took a phone call like that this morning that I need to talk to you about after we finish the show. I mean, it is unfortunate. We have run the gamut on folks with problems that we have been able to solve. One of the things that Wally and I try to do is we're not there to judge. We're not there to criticize. What I tell people is some people, they go into being a doctor or being a nurse. They help people. Well, Wally and I's field of service is real estate. And that's what we truly try to do is we try to help people. We really do pride ourselves on being honest and fair, and just telling people, it may not be what they want to hear some of the times, but we feel like, honesty is always the best policy. Absolutely.
Correct. So there's a lot of folks there that do a lot of good business in what we do. Unfortunately, there are a lot that we know. I'm not going to mention any names, but there are a few around town that are not really the most ethical people to deal with. Hadn't run into that with anybody out of town, but there's a lot of folks that we've known for quite some time that I would not do business with.
Yeah, you just got to be careful.
You got to be careful what you do. Your due diligence. Make sure you have the right person coming on board. And here again, just go back and look at our website. Look at the testimonials. Speak more about what we're doing than what we could tell anybody.
Right.
Because they just think we're trying to sell something. Or trying to get their house for as cheap as we can.
Yeah, it's interesting when you talk to people, and one of the things that you hear is, man, you guys are taking advantage of folks. And I think going back to how we deal with folks who contact us, once again, we lay out options. I mean, there's several different options when you have to sell a house. Probably the primary option is to list it with a real estate agent, that of which I am, and I've listed houses for folks who have contacted us through I Buy Chattanooga Houses before. We really just want to lay out those options. Sometimes it's not about money. It's about stress. This is just weighing on me. I mean, Wally mentioned family members and things like that. Sometimes it's just an emotional situation that people just want to be done with as quickly as possible.
There's some folks that have a hard time dealing with the emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, and I don't like to put it this way, but in a lot of cases, you need to be, kind of try to put yourself in their position, but you don't want to feel sorry for folks,
right?
Because life goes on. Life is the way life is. We've always all been in that position to where we're thinking, what's next? What's going to be coming up next? And that's why we try to go in to help fix this one small area, or it could be a big area of their life, to where they can move on. Of which everyone that we've dealt with, they've been able to take the proceeds from the properties that we've purchased and taken those and moved on with their life.
Absolutely.
Which kind of makes me feel good as well.
Yeah.
That we've helped people out, help their families out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we just actually had a closing, last week, where we sold our Melody Lane project.
On Friday.
Yep. Folks were, we put folks in a brand new home, the homeowners who bought it. And then we were able to help the lady who sold us the property. It was her parents' house. She just, wanted to be done with it. So she walked away with a fair price and money in her pocket, and super happy. I mean, hugged us at the end, thanked us for all that we did. So it was a really, really rewarding experience.
And you can see that testimony on our website as well.
Absolutely.
She did do a testimony for us. And here again, we can't stress enough the testimonies about what other people are saying about us, not what we're saying about ourselves.
Yeah, because I think I'm a pretty good guy.
Yeah, I would say so. Would Cindy say that?
Yeah, it depends on what day it is.
What day? I say, so, Kay. She would say,
it depends on what day it is.
Just depends.
But no, we do try to help. So, so we've talked about, what we've done. We're out there buying houses. Wally and I primarily focus on renovation, rehabbing. If you really want to go there, flipping. I mean, that's what we do. One of the benefits that we feel like we bring to a community, not only are we helping folks out that need to sell a house that has, caused them some sort of distress. We take that house, and then we also start renovating it. Several of the projects that we worked on this past year, They have been houses that have been in various states of disrepair.
Mm-hmm.
One of our projects, our Oak Street project, that house has sat vacant for, multiple years.
Oh, years, a lot of years.
So we were able to take that house that was just basically a shell. We renovated it, redeveloped it, whatever term you want to use, and it turned into a beautiful, beautiful house.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys can see a lot of those before and afters on our website,
Mm-hmm.
which is ibuychattanoogahouses.com, or they're also on our Facebook page, which is I Buy Chattanooga Houses.
Mm-hmm. I think another interesting fact about Oak Street, since we brought that up, was that property. I had looked at that one about 6 years ago, and just couldn't come to terms on the property. I think it sold when in foreclosure. I can't remember exactly what the situation was, but there was an individual that came in and purchased it and actually gutted the whole house.
Yeah.
And we walked in, it was gutted. And that just brings up, if there are people out there that I like to call maybe the one and done. They come in and try to do a property. They don't know what they're doing. They've seen it on Fix and Flip, or they've watched something on HGTV and they thought, hey, we can go do that.
Right.
And they had actually gutted the property, and this wasn't that situation. They just didn't want to deal with it. So you might know those folks out there that are the one and dones. They want to get into it, but they don't know what they're doing. They get halfway through the project, and it's a lot more intense than what they had anticipated. We'd love to chat with those folks as well.
Absolutely. I don't think there's a project. We've had a lot that are close that we've decided to pursue. But to date, we've not found a house that we didn't think we could rehab.
Right. Right.
Some there probably we should have said no. but
yeah, I mean that's true. But the thing that I like about those opportunities is those are properties nobody else wants to do.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, who in town wants to go in and take a house, completely gut it down the studs, rewire everything, new plumbing, new everything from the ground up? There's not that many people, unless you're a contractor.
Right.
Then that's what you do on a regular basis.
Yep.
But not many people that do what we do want to do that.
Yeah. So for you folks out there that are maybe thinking about wanting to get into the investment business, I mean, we're looking for partners. If you guys are kind of saying, hey, we don't really want to get our hands dirty, so to speak. We do have a certain ways that you guys can participate in what we're doing. First of all, it's just following us. We'd love to talk, chat, maybe have a cup of coffee with you. But if you're interested in what we're doing, would like to participate in it in some degree, give us a call. I mean, there might be a way that we can help plug you guys in. For other folks who want to get into the nastiness of the rehab, one of the things that has really helped us out, and you hear this a lot, it's really about the people that you surround yourself with. And that is, I mean, we've had our general contractor on here before, and he has made life a lot easier. My hair stopped falling out.
But when you have somebody who is young, like Jimmy is, and is aggressive, doesn't mind getting in and doing what needs to be done, it sure does help.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really, really does help. It really does help. Because that's been, I mean, and talk about our team. I think we have put together a real good team in reference to our construction venues. We've got Jimmy Gravely of Gravely Construction, who been with us for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now. Young guy, he's 33, got 3 kids, just very aggressive, knows how to get things done. And then the other part of our team is our designer, Katie.
Yeah.
Katie,
who was on the show last week.
Yes, she was on last week. Did a great job. And the good thing about Katie is that interesting stories is that Jimmy's called us up in the past and said, hey, Wally, what colors are we doing the outside? I'm going, I have no earthly idea.
This is the day before they're ready to paint.
I don't know. What should we do? And it's well, I call Tom. Hey, Thomas, what color do you want to paint it? I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. And we go back and forth. And we have gotten to a point now to where, when we get a house, Katie goes and walks, the 4 of us go walk through the property. Here's what we want to do. Jimmy knows what we want to do. Katie knows the design of the house. They pick out the colors. They pick out the design. They pick out light fixtures, faucets. I mean, they do all that stuff.
Right.
And we don't have to deal with it. But I don't want to deal with it. I've done it in the past. It's a pain in the rear end.
Yeah.
But it's good to be able to go in once every couple and that's what I've had to pull myself away from, is I've been used to going to projects every day, making sure things are getting done. And the hard thing for me is not to go every day. Yeah.
And the thing that, I mean, this is obviously Rawling and I have a long history of being in the real estate business, but every business evolves and grows. And we're essentially trying to bring people in. One of the things, for you folks that are out there that are in business or maybe just thinking to start about businesses, you really want to focus on your highest and best use of your time. And for Wally and I, it's not picking paint colors. Now, does that cost us a little bit of money to bring somebody on board? Absolutely. But it allows us to focus on what we do best. And that is talking to people, helping folks, that's where we're at. We want to be out talking to folks, whether they are investors or sellers, and communicating, our vision for our business, and allowing people to contact us, and us being free enough to actually talk to them,
correct,
and see who we can help and how many people we can help.
I think somebody said it best in our mastermind group that don't do anything in your business that's not going to pay you at least $250 to $300 an hour.
Yep, which means we need to be lawyers.
No. That's okay. That's okay. I don't think so. But I think it just comes down to what you're saying. It just be best use of your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
How can we profit our business that is in turn, I mean, if you look at the cycle of what we're doing, when we purchase a piece of property, it's helping a family or helping a situation. People get out of where they are. When we go in and start doing the work, we're providing jobs for people, for our team. For Jimmy, for Katie, for the vendors that we have, for the painters, the plumbers, the electricians, we're providing jobs for them. And then once it's done, then when the property is listed, we're providing an opportunity for realtors to make a little bit of a profit, and then a little bit, sometimes more than they need, but we won't go into that.
I'll let you say that.
Yeah, I can say that because I used to be one, not anymore. But then the ultimate goal is to provide a home for a new family, and then for us to make that profit to where we can turn around and support our family.
Absolutely.
If it's not a win-win situation for everybody involved, then everybody loses because you can't proceed forward on the next project.
Right. And I feel like we that's what we strive for. Obviously, we are imperfect, and we're going to screw up, at least once a day. Maybe twice. Okay.
So,
but we do strive to be a service, to be a help to everybody that we kind of come in contact with. Once again, I'll just throw it out there again. You guys can connect with us. We've got a Facebook page, I Buy Chattanooga Houses on Facebook. We've got a website, ibuychattanoogahouses.com. You can see the testimonial videos that we've talked about. You can also see, I actually just uploaded the last 3 projects that we did, the before and after videos, so you guys can see some of the issues that we've dealt with in the past, and then kind of the product or the home that we provide for folks who are looking. I tell you, in this business, if you've never done it, the one thing that you cannot describe, you cannot picture, is smell. And
smell of money.
I tell you what, yeah, that's what they call it, but it still smells bad sometimes. It's interesting is, when we have walked into some houses, and I guess you just get used to it. It's just one of those things. I wish you could package that up and say, hey, this is our Russell Project house smell.
Yeah. Take a whiff of this. You can't bottle that, I don't think.
Oh man, I don't know that it would be worth bottling.
We'll make that option. Hey, if you see something that we posted on the website, we're getting ready to do, hey, give us a call if you want to go by and take a look at it and experience the smells that we're experiencing. Hey, feel free to give us a call. We'd be happy when you walk in.
Talking about that, I remember actually on our Russell Street project, which actually turned out wonderful. That was one of the ones that Katie designed. It was the smell was quite bad, and I believe Wally's bright idea, in order to aerate the house a little bit more, was to break some of the windows. And unfortunately, the neighbor next door didn't think that was such a great idea because the wind was blowing in their direction, and it was a strong smell. They
did make a comment. They weren't bad. They just made a comment because they liked what we were getting ready to do to the property.
Oh man!
But that just tells you how bad it was that the house was next to us, probably 30, 40 feet away.
Yeah. And
I didn't even think about the smell going next door and how are we going to get this window open? So I just took a rock and broke the daggone window. Immediately it was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just coming out of there. It was definitely coming out.
Terrible. Well, I'll tell you, I went over to Blanton And I know y'all, if y'all haven't seen that project on our website, go take a look at IBuyChattanoogaHouses.com and go look at the Blanton project. It's kind of a hoarder's house in a way, and our workers went in there, and they'd go in for 4, 5, 6 minutes, come back out because they just couldn't stand the smell.
Yeah.
And I was actually over there, was it yesterday or the day before, and about 90% of the smell is gone.
We got to get the rest of the 10% out.
That 10%, and believe it or not, and I wouldn't have believed this, but when we sand the floors, the rest of that smell will go out.
Yeah.
When I did the Morton project about 3 years ago, just could not get this. It was similar to Blanton. I could not get the smell out. Tried, could not get it out. And then I walked in one day after our guy had done the floors, and he had a big bag of the sawdust out front.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a whiff of. Oh, it was terrible. And then I walked in, the smell was gone.
It's interesting. I mean, one of the things, we've actually got a kid that's in my neighborhood. We've tried to take him under our wing, so to speak, and bring him in. He started cleaning up some of our projects for us. And he thinks it's a terrible job. But what Wally and I have tried to communicate to him is, you know what, you're on the ground floor, but you're also seeing things. You see the way it is before it's fixed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I would, one of the things that I think all new investors or somebody that wants to be, you need to experience it. Not you just need to get used to it.
Right.
Because it does make a difference when you can walk into a house and you can look past all the trash and the garbage and whatever it is there. The crazy thing is houses clean up, and they clean up quite nicely.
And that look, as far as where you want to go, just comes with experience.
Yeah.
I mean, some people just can't look past, what a house looks like now to what it is going to look like. And I think you and I both have got that opportunity or that gift or whatever you want to call it to be able to walk in and look past all that. Right. And see what that home is going to look like for the next buyer, that retail buyer. Yeah.
I think one of my favorite stories over my kind of investing career is I had formed a really, really good relationship with a gentleman who I bought a couple rental properties off of, and he was ready to sell another one, and it was actually over here in the Hickson area. We had gone in and taken a look at the property, and we got to open the front door, and I think we both had a price in mind that we were looking to do, and so we walked in the house, and I mean, we were not in this house longer than probably a minute. And once again, we had a really, really good relationship, understood each other. And we walked out, and he looked at me and he said, "Thomas, I had a price in my head, but it dropped $5,000 the minute we opened the door." I mean, it was just one of those things. He didn't know. He did not know. But, it is interesting. It's fun what we do. We really do enjoy it. So we were just been kind of cutting it up a little bit today. It's kind of a free-for-all, but we'll be back here in just a little bit to hopefully entertain you guys and talk a little bit more about what we're doing. But this is Thomas DeMoss
and Wally Reese.
This is the Reality Real Estate Show. You guys check us out. It's I Buy Chattanooga Houses on our Facebook page, IBuyChattanoogaHouses.com, and we'll see you guys in just a little bit.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
This is Thomas DeMoss with Keller Williams Realty. I am a realtor in Chattanooga. We list and sell homes, work with buyers, work with home sellers. I have been involved in real estate for over 10 years. My background is as a real estate investor. That is what I bring to the table, is that real estate investor mindset. My job is to help you sell your house for the most money, employing the best marketing strategy and walking you through what can be a rather stressful process. So we are encouraging people who are on the fence or even thought about selling their house to give us a call. There's no obligation. We're just here to kind of have a conversation, let people know what the process is like, what the market is like, what values they can expect to receive. We work with buyers as well. I also have a buyer's agent that works exclusively with my buyers because we want to give our clients as much attention as we can. My cell phone number is 423-364-0028. Our website is northriverpropertygroup.com. That's northriverpropertygroup.com. We'd love for you guys to call us.
2, 1. Chattanooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM's news now.
Day 9, Carol Gaddy held as a political prisoner in Sequatchie County. She refuses to allow an illegal warrantless search of her home. County Commissioner Tim Boyd, the head of the Finance Committee, says that he was never told about County Mayor Jim Coppinger's plan to raise property taxes. Now he's asking for an outline on how the new money is going to be spent. He wrote the mayor an open letter asking that the mayor email him the details about the new budget. A car chase led deputies from Hamilton County and Soddy Daisy all the way to Sequatchie County, chasing down a stolen Toyota Celica. Eventually, the vehicle pulled off the road. The occupants got out on foot. One of them was seen throwing a gun outside. Sheriff's deputies chased them both down, managed to arrest one, but the driver escaped. Carrie Harper was taken into custody, and Alvin Shirley is wanted by the sheriff's office. Harper has been charged with resisting arrest, among other charges. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News, now.
In-depth traffic, news, and information. Mornings on Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
AM 1240 and 92.7 FM's fast forecast now. 69 degrees and cloudy as we begin our morning here in the Chattanooga area. A high today of 78 and a low of 71. Not a whole lot of disparity there. Rain is expected at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll continue into tomorrow with 74 for the high tomorrow and 60 for the low. Noticeably cooler tomorrow with thunderstorms expected and quite a bit of rain that should clear up by Saturday. That's your fast forecast now.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM knows your opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree? Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, AM 1240, 92.7 FM, and 95.3 HD4. News, talk, sports. Nooga Radio. I feel good.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is Thomas DeMoss, and I've got my partner
in crime, Wally Reese. Hope everybody's doing well today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome back to the second half of our show today at Reality Real Estate. You can always catch up with us on our two best ways to do it is on Facebook, which is I Buy Chattanooga Houses. We've got a lot of good information on our Facebook page, and that seems to be a way people get, stay in touch nowadays.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do is go to our website, which is ibuychattanooga.houses.com. We have a lot of projects on there, a lot of before and after. I think Thomas said in our first segment that he's uploaded about 2 or 3 new before and afters, which those are really amazing to take a look at when you see because sometimes we forget going into it what it looks like. But you can go there. You can see a lot of testimonials about what we are doing in Chattanooga. We are full-time real estate investors. Thomas is also a real estate agent with Keller Williams. Thomas, one of the big things that we talked about, we had a conversation yesterday about it, was about the market. How much longer is the market going to be sustained the way that it is right now? Because the market's pretty good. Not a lot of properties staying active very long. We're able to find some pretty good opportunities. I heard someone last night tell me at church that they're kind of frustrated because there's not a whole lot of inventory out there for them to go take a look at, not a lot to choose from. And we've had a lot of folks come into Chattanooga from out of town. Kind of what's the state of from a realtor's perspective and those people that are in the industry, what's the state of our real estate community right now?
Well, I mean, this is essentially a broken record. We say it all the time. I don't know if people are aware of it, but Chattanooga is in an incredible real estate market right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's putting it lightly. I've lived here for 12, 13 years, while you've been here for all of your life.
All my life, yeah.
Back, I guess you were on the ark when it came.
Yeah, I almost feel like it.
Just
FYI for you, I will be 59 next week.
Oh man, well, I got to get you. I got to get you a good birthday present. No, the market's great. I mean, just one of the key indicators. Everybody talks about price point. One of the things as a real estate agent that we look at is days on market, and if you can just understand this, our average days on market for a house is 54 days. I mean, that is incredibly short time. That's the average. So that what that means is if you've got a house that you've got it priced right, and it's a decent house, you're looking for that house to be on the market for 54 days, which is significant. So can't talk. Significantly short.
Come on, get it out. You know, I can remember. I remember when the average days on market was 180 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, 90 to 100. I mean, it was long.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
just because
crazy.
there was so. Now, what exactly does it mean to have inventory? I mean, if you got so many days or so many months of inventory, what does that mean?
Well, the other thing that is the inventory right now. The reason that the days on the market is so compressed and shortened is because we have a lack of inventory. It means that if you're in the market to buy a house, there is less for you to choose from. It's as if you went into Walmart and half the shelves were empty. I mean, you've got less to choose from. So if you went into Walmart and you were looking for, I don't know, let's say a loaf of bread, and everybody else was looking for that same loaf of bread, well, they're going to bid the price up. And that is exactly what's happened. There is less inventory, which means prices rise. And just to give you guys kind of a number that we're looking at, everybody uses the median house, which means if you lined up every house in Chattanooga that was sold, the very point in the middle is the median. And that gives you a good indicator for if prices are obviously moving up or moving down. But the median price, if I can read my notes here, for July was $183,000,
Wow.
which is a year to date. You're talking about last July versus this July, increase of 9.5%. I mean, that's
incredible.
That's a strong number. It really
very
is
strong. I wonder how many markets around the United States have seen that.
You know what's interesting is and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I guess only time will tell. Is our nation is seeing a lot of real estate growth, a lot of appreciation in prices. Wally mentioned we're in a mastermind group with investors all over the country, and I think to a man or a woman, most of them said that's what they're seeing as prices are rising. We still have historically low interest rates. And what does that mean? That means that money is cheaper. It doesn't cost you as much money to borrow it as it does, as it would have, 5, 6, 10 years ago. I mean, back in the late.
I can remember when it was 18 to 20%.
Yeah, I mean, man, I wish I could make 18% just by sticking my money in the bank, but you just can't do that anymore.
A lot of creative financing. There's some incredible creative financing was going on.
Absolutely. Back then. So what does that mean if you're in the market to buy a home? Look at it like this. Right now, the government gives a mortgage deduction or tax deduction for having a mortgage. So let's just say you're getting a 4% rate. Well, you're getting a tax deduction for having that rate. So it's not costing you as much. Our kind of not to go crazy on everybody, but our inflation rate, the government says, is about 3%. So, that means that your money is devaluing 3% a year. I think it may be higher than that. Let's just say if it's 4, it's essentially not costing you anything to borrow money on that house. You have in a house, which should be an appreciating asset, and the debt there to cover it. So it's a great time to buy a house. We did talk about the market and the conditions of the market that Chattanooga specifically is in. We're in a really good market. We have a lot of, the really, really smart folks will call it economic indicators. I'll just call it, how can people go out there and find a job, and are the jobs paying really well? And we're actually having that. We have a lot of tech jobs. We've got a lot of manufacturing that's coming into the Chattanooga market. People are able to find work in Chattanooga if they want to for a wage that will support their family, which is a really, really good thing.
It is, and it's we also have a lot of folks coming in from out of town as well.
Yep.
I've got a couple of networking groups that I'm involved with on occasion, and it's amazing how many people that I chat with, and my first question is, hey, are you originally from Chattanooga?
Yeah,
because I'm curious to know. And like you, they're not originally, but you've been here for 13 years. You're raising your family here.
It's home now. Yeah.
So you are. I mean, you are a Chattanoogan right now. But there's fewer people that I run across that are like me, a native of here that was born and raised, and seen the growth and the changes here in Chattanooga. And I think that is warranted by back in, I can recall, you weren't here, but back in 1987, the city council and some of the the people looking forward with Chattanooga sat down. They put a plan together. I can't recall the name of it, but they put a plan together of where they wanted Chattanooga to be in 25 years.
Yep.
And the purpose of that plan was Chattanooga was a stopover place from people coming from the Midwest, from the Northeast, going down to Florida. They'd come, they spend one night in Chattanooga, and they would eat and then they would leave.
Yep.
So the idea was, how can we keep those people here and make Chattanooga a destination point and a vacation point for those folks, maybe instead of going to Florida.
Right.
And what we see today in Chattanooga is a result of that initial, and that's been revised over the years, but this is a result of the initial plan that was put together back in the late 80s. It's been incredible to watch that.
It has. I mean, it just, we talked about kind of government and how government and the public works together. And that was good foresight on the folks who looked at what Chattanooga had to offer with its geography, with its location, and said, how can we, for lack of a better term, exploit that? How can we bring people in? And they've done a good job, because I remember, my wife, she grew up here. I traveled to Chattanooga. I was sold. I was like, well, I don't want to be in Florida anymore. It's too hot.
It's a good place to visit, though.
It's a great place to visit. It is a great place to visit. But Chattanooga is home. It's a wonderful city. And going back to what we're doing, it's really neat to actually play a part in helping people find homes. And while you mentioned a lot of those people that are moving to the area, I'd say that a lot of the end buyers that are buying our houses are not from Chattanooga.
Correct. I think the last one we had, the last family that purchased Melody, I think they were
from Chattanooga, but we had a doctor from South Carolina that purchased our Oak Street house. I believe the person purchasing Russell is out of town as well.
They're out of town. Had another gentleman that bought 10th that was out of town.
Yep.
Fellow that bought Highland Park. That couple was from out of town.
Right.
They had their parents come in while they were doing the inspection. I mean, and the interesting thing is that the folks that bought our last property, they're probably the oldest that we've had. They're probably in their mid 60s. Everybody else that has purchased our properties have been in that, say, 25 to 35 range.
Yeah, the millennials.
Every one of them have been, because they come in town. The one guy want to be close to the hospital. They want to go out and they want to ride their bicycles like you do. Right. It's too much work for me, but they want to go and they want to do the rock climbing. Kayaking. It's so convenient for outdoor. That's why we have that age group coming in.
Yeah, and the city's done a really good job. I mean, I don't know. You talk to kids that are in high school. Everybody, when you're in high school, you want to leave your hometown, and I think a lot of the kids now are thinking, hey, we got a really good thing. Let's stay here and make it happen. But I mean, there's just a lot of good things. It's our little part that we help in is obviously the real estate part. When we're renovating those houses that are out there, we feel like we're just trying to add value, be a service to the community. So that is what we really enjoy. For those of y'all who want to connect with us, reach out to us. Our Facebook page is I Buy Chattanooga Houses. You can check us out at ibuychattanoogahouses.com. We've actually got a new Facebook page. We talked about kind of how our business is growing and how we want to make ourselves accessible to other people. We have a new Facebook page that we set up. It's called Chattanooga Property Solutions. You guys can go there and take a look at, once again, at some of our projects that we've had before and afters of. We're really proud of those. We do think we've got a really, really good team that's come alongside of us. I know we talked about it before, but I think Wally and I have a great eye for design. But by the third house that we did, they look very similar, and we were tired of our houses looking the same. So
it's the cookie cutter effect.
The cookie, yeah.
I had some folks tell me a while, years ago when I first got started. They said, "Hey, use the same paint color, same vinyl, same tile, same this, same on every house." And I said, "Why would you want to do that?" They said, "Well, who's going to see it?"
Yeah.
House A's not going to go see house B. And I said, but when you walk in that house, it's like, oh, this is the same one we just did.
And I guess the reality is that's not the case anymore, because where we're working in some of these houses, it's a very walkable community. So the neighbor may walk into that house and go,
that's true.
Your house looks just like mine. So we definitely, what we try to do is we want to put a good product out there and then add that little bit of customization to that end buyer who can make it their own.
I think that's good for us because of the different floor plans that we do run across on these houses, because there's no two that are going to be just alike.
Right.
I know a lot of developers in town. I've worked for 2 major developers here in town in the past, and you can only do so many floor plans within a neighborhood. The difference on that is that you can the floor plan is the same. You can change the front some, you can change the exterior just a little bit, but when you walk in that house and you walk into your neighbor's house, you're going, what's the same floor plan I have? Well, they just moved that wall.
Yeah.
Or they changed that just a little bit. And, but it's cost effectiveness, for a developer, but for us, it's good because we have a different floor plan and a different canvas every time we go in.
Yeah. Every house is different. I mean, we one of the things that we really try to do, and we've had some designers on here. We had Ethan Collier from Collier Build, Collier Construction on here. Just different. Everybody's got a different viewpoint for how they design a house. I think what we like to do is we really want a house to obviously feel like a home, but then give that certain little touch to make it special. I think that some of the most interesting things that we've done, we've done some of the butcher block countertops, which have looked really nice.
We've done that twice. It's looking great.
I mean, and just almost indestructible. It's just a very practical, and I would recommend that to anybody who's wanting to maybe update a piece of their kitchen. Is look at the butcher block. I mean, really, it's inexpensive, but it looks spectacular if it's done right. That's one of the things that we've done. Experimented sort of with some paint colors, adding some custom shelving and stuff to some of our bedrooms, which have really kind of made things look nice. But once again, that with Katie King and Homemade Designs, that's she's certainly an integral part in kind of helping us implement our vision as a team into those houses. They turn out, I guess I can say that I think they turn out great.
Well, I mean they do, because with our team with Jimmy Gravely at Gravely Construction, Katie King. I mean, with everybody put together, it's what makes it work, because there have been a perfect example on Oak Street. Katie that was really the first house that we used Katie on, and we asked her to come in and do exterior paint color. Okay. And y'all go look at that on our website. That's the one we have.
It's 1708 Oak Street.
Yeah.
If you go to iBuyChattanoogaHouses.com, click on rehab projects, you'll see before and after videos, and it'll give you an idea of what Wally's talking about.
Absolutely. When I first drove up to the property and looked at it, I was going, oh my word.
Yep.
This house, I can't, this house is not going to sell. These colors are like, it just wasn't with me. And I think you made the comment, Thomas, that it looked like a beach house.
Yeah.
On Oak Street.
Yeah.
We just need to put a pool.
It looked like a beach house in downtown Chattanooga. and although that's great in Florida, I didn't think it was going to work in the neighborhood.
Right.
But we were.
Yep. And you called, Cindy came down and looked at it. She liked it. Kay came down and looked at it. My wife, she liked it. The neighbor next door, the lady next door liked it. I think Jimmy's wife came by, Rachel, and she looked at it and she liked it. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's just us.
It was, and it was.
It was just
us.
The market loved it. Absolutely loved it.
And it grew on us. I mean, that color took off, and I really do like the colors that we're choosing. I mean, we're trying to push the envelope a little bit on some of them.
Right.
But I guess hey, not everybody's like me or you, which is a good thing.
That's true.
Everybody has different opinions of colors, and we've been very fortunate picking those out. But yeah, that is interesting. So definitely check that out.
I think with Jimmy and with Katie, they're in that millennial age, and they know Katie more so from a standpoint of a designer because of what she does from a design standpoint.
Right.
Keeps up with all the latest looks and the feel. But I think just from that age perspective adds a lot to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because obviously those are the ones that are buying our properties.
Yep. And it's fun. I mean, golly, we could just go anywhere. This is kind of a free for all. So you guys just bear with us. We're kind of having fun, cutting it up a little bit. But we've got a couple of different projects we want to tell you guys about that are going to come on the market within, if we don't get flooded out of here next week. We've got a project in East Ridge that we're going to put on probably next week. That was one of the houses. We were very fortunate to be able to help this owner out. And Wally talked about some crazy things that we see in our business. In this specific situation,